Forever I'll live, forever I'll try. Forever I'll run, forever I'll die. Forever this heart, forever my soul. Forever I'll be, forever unknown. Days and nights, skin and bone. Forever this town, forever my car. Forever this night, forever these stars. Forever I live, forever unknown. Forever in love, forever a ghost. Days and nights, skin and bone. I'm still here, but you moved on. Forever falls in love with the guy that wears sweater vests. She used to be mine, but now it's like we never met. Forever leaves fast in the middle of the night. Forever breaks my heart and never says goodbye. Days and nights, skin and bone. I'm still here, but you moved on. I live inside an old photograph. I wish that I could feel your love again. So I live inside that old photograph. And I wish that I could feel your love again. Forever falls in love with the guy that wears sweater vests. She used to be mine, but now it's like we never met. Forever leaves fast in the middle of the night. Forever breaks my heart and never says goodbye.
How's that? Oh, that's awful loud, isn't it? There we go. Right, let me start that again. Okay. Hello. This is the Outer Ayrshire Broadcasting Corporation calling civilization. How are we doing? This is the Tuesday chat. Alright, how's that? I turned the microphone on, but I didn't turn it on down there. There's so many buttons you have to press to do this whole thing. And as I was saying while I was muted, my brain's been very, very fuddled this past, 7, 8, 9 days maybe. Don't know whether I'm coming or going. Really, I mean, the simplest things that I've been doing I just can't seem to do. Nothing seems to be working. And that's why the topic for tonight is, what was the topic for tonight? It was something about technology. Stupid tech, I think it was. That was it. Dave's been cut to the adverts. Don't know what happens here. Right, okay. So there you go. Aye, where was I? Right, so I'm in the studio tonight, as you can probably see, but I hadn't planned being in the studio tonight. There was a wee question there I noticed came up on the screen as I was just sitting here, and I'm going to click on it if I can. Let's see, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh my God, everybody's telling me it's muted. Thanks for that, I now know it. Right, someone asked the question. Oh, before we get to that, Dave Datura says that song, Sweater Vest, really annoys him. I'm awful sorry about that, Dave, and I'm sorry if it annoys your missus too, but there's quite a lot of people actually like that song. So it should have been changed by now. I normally change the intro music and the intro film every few months, but I've kept that one around for a little while longer because many people do like it. But it's due for a change. It is due for a change, so bear with me. Right, and talking about the intro, somebody asked, oh, it must have been ages and ages ago, someone said something about about the movie on the intro. I'm trying to find it here. I'm scrolling through, trying to find it, and I can't see. Oh, there you go. It was the Flying Bots. Flying Bots says, where's this shot? Nice scenery. And the reason I'm bringing your comment up there, Flying Bots, is because it ties in with the topic for tonight, stupid tech. I was actually going to be coming live from the Croic multiverse. That's where that was filmed. The Croic, Crawick, Croic multiverse. In fact, can I bring it up here? I probably can. Let me see. Croic multiverse. And if it comes up there, and I can switch my screen over and show you. Right, so here we go. Let me see if I can get a screen. There you go. So there's the Croic multiverse website. And it's not far away from me. It's about actually Google says it's a 16-minute drive. And there's actually a big concert happening there, a music concert happening there, Music at the Multiverse. It's happening, I think it's at the end of this month or the beginning of next month, right? Look, Scarivore, big country, some of the Scouting for the Girls, some good big Scottish bands. It's in September, I think it is, just the beginning of September, so there's quite a few things happening there at the Multiverse, right? Anyway, so what was I saying? You have to bear with me tonight because I'm not doing too well in the brain department. I don't know why. I seem to have had a bit of a kind of relapse with the long COVID thing, and I'm not doing too great. Anyway, so that's where I was supposed to be coming live from tonight because I thought it'd be quite nice to send Caledonia up and show you the multiverse without the snow. Right, and rather than a video, do it live like I did the other week when I flew over the castle, Drumlanrig Castle. But unfortunately, when I came to test everything tonight, this is my RC Pro, and it's got an HDMI out. You can see there, and it works perfectly well. And I tested it. Put the HDMI into one of my monitors, and everything works fine. But for some reason, I can't get it to play through the live stream as I usually do. I just can't get it to work. Now, I don't think it's stupid tech. I think it's probably stupid me. I'm missing something, obviously. I've tried to do everything I can. It's set up exactly the way it always is, so it should work. And when I plug everything in, the lights are all on, saying everything's working, and it should all work, but it just doesn't. So I couldn't go there and live stream. There was no point in going there, and I'm off a cold tonight as well. Although it's really warm in here, I feel really cold. So although I could have gone down there, but I would just have been live streaming from my car, so there would have been no point, because the only time I really like to go out and about is if I can show you where I am and do a little fly about. So that's why I'm in the studio tonight. I have been working on it all evening since I got in for work trying to fix it, but I couldn't do it. So I have an agenda, and here is my agenda. Nothing on it at all. I've got no agenda because I was supposed to be at the Croic Multiverse broadcasting live from there, but I'm not. So what I thought I'd do tonight instead is, first of all, explain why we're on a Tuesday chat instead of a Sunday blether, right? And I've switched. Now, most of you will know that, Norman, I'll get to think, no, it's not. For the simple reason is I plugged the HDMI cable direct into the back of the monitor and it works. I get the full screen, and also I tried 3 other cables and they all work too. So it's not the cable, it's not the cam link, I don't know what, I honestly don't know what it is, but I will work it out once my brain has, hopefully in the next couple of days, sorted itself out. I'll probably go, you idiot, you didn't press that button there or something. It'll be something as simple as that. But for the moment, I'm stuck in the studio, which is all fair and well. So anyway, what I thought I'd do tonight is, first of all, the Tuesday chat. Why did I pick the Tuesday? Can I bring up, possibly, if I go to my screen where it shows, I don't know if I can. Oh, hello. No, I won't. I put a poll up in the community section of the channel to see if everyone had a massively preferred day of the week. My choices were Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Monday, Tuesday and Thursday, that was it. Can't broadcast on a Wednesday because I think Backpack Jack from the Drone Seekers International has got a new show on a Wednesday, so I didn't want to coincide with that. And so that led me Monday, Tuesday and Thursday. So what I did all last week was, I have been monitoring the internet connection here at 7 o'clock on Mondays and on Tuesdays, well, last Monday and last Tuesday and Thursday. And I found that Tuesday had the strongest signal. And if you noticed during the intro, there seemed to be no stuttering at all. Everything went smoothly, and that's because I don't think anyone in this area is using, well, not as many people are using the internet on a Tuesday at 7 as there will be on a Sunday at 7. So and Tuesday was the best day out of the 3. The Monday, the Tuesday and the Thursday. Tuesday was the strongest signal. So that's why I chose Tuesday to do the Tuesday chat. It fits in quite well. It's a nice alliteration there. If you know what alliteration means, Tuesday chat. There you go. So that's why I thought I would just try it out on a Tuesday. And if it all goes well, that'll be good. Now, I'll have a quick look just to see how many people we've got in the chat. We've got 37 people in the chat, and I've got 10 thumbs ups. You may just have forgotten to give me a thumbs up, or you may not want to. And if you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. But if you've just forgotten, hit that wee thumbs up button for me, please, and try to bring it a bit closer to the 39 that I'm now watching, because it apparently helps. That's what I've been told. So if you could do that, I'd appreciate that. Right, let me get my face off of there so I don't confuse myself anymore. Right, and yeah, so I have got a plan instead of what I was going to talk about down at Croic Multiverse. I can't talk about that because I'm not there. So instead of that, I've got something else, a couple of things I can talk about. No agenda, but I've got a couple of things I can talk about. Before I do that, I'll just say hello to a few people. First of all, hello to Mark, who's my moderator tonight. Thanks very much for doing that again, Mark. And Mark, I don't know if I can bring this up. There you go. Mark has been a member of the channel for 15 months. Now, for those of you who don't know what membership gives you is, not much, I'm afraid to say, and I'm being honest with you. At the moment, all that membership really gives you is a way to, an extra way to support me and help me to get out and about and alleviate some of my costs that it costs me to run a channel, right? So that's what you're doing, first of all, and I thank you for that. But it does give you a few wee things. You get extra wee emojis that you can post, right? You get, occasionally I will post a sort of behind the scenes video, or I'll make a comment or a post or something that only goes to the pictures and things that only go to the members, and you get to see those. You also, most of the videos that I produce, I try to publish a day or two early for the members only, so that if you remember, you get to see all this kind of stuff early and you can comment back and forth. So although it's not much, you're not getting much for your little subscription. I'm just a small channel, and I can't do big giveaways and things like that to my members. I just don't have the resources. So what if you're probably thinking, well, there's no reason for me to become a member? No, there probably isn't at the moment. But if the channel continues to grow, hopefully when I eventually get to the point where not only am I breaking even, but I'm actually starting to maybe make a wee profit, I can then start to maybe do some giveaways and things like that for the members. But at the moment, it is what it is. And for all of you who are members, thanks very much for that. Right, I went on and on about there, didn't I? Aye, right, so there's Mark been for 15 months. Right, okay, so Dogzilla Monster says, will this include any Scott Gooberish plays? I think you're talking about the video that I posted recently where I had a little conversation with a lady that I passed by a little cottage when I was walking towards a place to do a video. And she just happened to be in the garden where we dug, and I had a little conversation. Now, I had my mic on my Insta. It was this camera I was using here, my Insta 360, and it was up on its stick, and I didn't have a mic plugged in on here. It was just the mic from here, so there was a bit of wind noise and stuff like that, because I hadn't really intended to put any audio on. I just thought I'll record it, and then later on maybe I can use some of the video. So I hadn't intended to use any audio, and I didn't know I would meet anyone to talk to. But that was some Scottish. It was a normal conversation that I have every day with people around here in my normal dialect. And I thought it might be quite interesting to put up for people that might not hear the Scottish dialect that often. So that was why I put that up. Okay, so this live stream may not include any Scott Gooberish. I don't think so, other than the wee bits that you hear coming naturally from me. Okay, right. Toffee says that was a nice intro. That's, like I said, that's the one I've been using for quite a while now. It is due an update. I mean, that was filmed back in, I think it may have been January or February, maybe even, when there was a bit of frost and a light spattering of snow on the ground. So I've been running with that one for quite a while, and it is due an update. Okay, let me move forward. Oh, there's George. I don't know if I click you, George. Yeah, there you go, George. Thanks for that, George. If you remember, you get those little icons there. Plus, there's a Scottish flag. You didn't put the saltire up there, George. You also get that. You get those little icons that you can use in the chat that no one else can get to, if you remember. There you go. Right, you go. Thumbs up for a few people. Thanks for that. As you say, Mark, a lot of people don't understand how much work goes into running a popular channel. I don't know if I'm popular. I've got 11,000, 11.4, something like that, 1,000 subscribers. But that doesn't mean I've got that number of viewers. People subscribe to things and never ever watch them again. So I think I'm doing okay for an old guy who doesn't really know what he's doing most of the time when it comes to YouTube. So, aye. Right. Well, I'm glad you like the dialect. You may be hearing more of it in some of the videos that I do. If I run into people where I have a wee chat with them, I'll probably keep that in. I'll probably keep it in the video. Okay. Yeah, thanks for that, Mark. It's okay. Right, so what I thought I would do tonight, right, which is rather than talking about agenda points and things that I want to talk about, what I thought I'd do is, I do have something that I could talk about, but what I thought I'd do is, I've been running a YouTube channel with drones since I got my very first drone. My very first drone I ever got, never flew, is this one here, the DJI Mini 2, and this is Lassie. And I'm sure that many of you will be familiar with this little Valkyrie who has done some absolutely amazing things, right? So this was the very first drone that I ever got, and I think it was it 3 years past November or 2 years past November? I can't remember. 2021, I think it was. No, November 2020. So that would be nearly 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. So I got Lassie, and then when a little while later, I haven't got him here. I thought I had dug him out. Hold on a second, I'll go and grab him. He's in this bag over here. I hope you can still hear me. I don't know if you can or not. Right. I see how well prepared I am. This brain, it's not doing good at all this week. So this was the second drone I bought. This was my DJI FPV. And I bought this just after the Air 2 or the Air 2S came out. And a lot of people were, when they had the Mini 2 and the Air 2S came out, they went ahead and bought the Air 2S. And I thought to myself, that's a bit crazy, the Air 2S, it does exactly the same as the Mini 2, just with a slightly better camera. And maybe it's slightly better in the wind, and it's got a bit of obstacle avoidance and tracking and things like that, but it doesn't really, it kind of makes your Mini 2 obsolete, you're never going to use it again. And I thought, I don't want to do that. I mean, I love my wee Lassie, and I want to continue to fly her as much as I can. And I thought, but I think the DJI FPV would give me some great footage that will complement the footage from the cinematic footage for Lassie. So that's why I got Laddie. Now, the plan never really came to anything because I haven't produced any cinematic videos with FPV footage in it yet, and it's been over 2 years, or about 2 years since I bought Laddie. So I keep saying to myself every day or every week, yeah, I'll go out and I'll do some of that footage with the FPV and Lassie or Caledonia. And I am going to. I've got a wonderful place that I'm going to be going out to, hopefully this week, one night after work, to do just that. Anyway, let's move along a little bit, right? And then the Mini 3 Pro came out. So the Mini 3 Pro came out, and Lassie, still a wonderful drone, and I said at the time, I probably wouldn't be getting the Mini 3 Pro. I don't see any need for it. However, being a drone-focused channel, I thought, I suppose I better get it. And that way I can do some comparisons between the Mini 2 and the Mini 3. And for any people who are thinking, should I upgrade or not, this will give them a better idea, rather than spending 800, 900 quid on one of these, if this is perfectly acceptable. So that's really why I got Caledonia. As it turns out, I really love Caledonia, right? Now, I also have, is that the one there? No, that's not the one, right? That's the standard battery you get, and you can tell it's a standard battery because it has the writing, which is not in focus, and I don't have autofocus on, so it won't go in focus. That's a standard battery, but I do have one of the advanced extended batteries, the Battery Plus, and I'll put on the autofocus just for a moment, see if it works. So that's autofocus on, and if I do that, it should focus, and you'll see now that there's no writing on there. Whereas, yeah, I'll just keep that autofocus on. That's the difference. One of the differences, right, is that that's the 249 one, and that's the extended one, which is slightly heavier, and this one takes the Mini 3 Pro over 250 grams, slightly heavier, and it lasts quite a bit longer, actually. I tend to fly only with the extended battery now. I hardly ever use the standard batteries, right? There is a reason for me talking about all of this. I'll get to it in a minute, right? So some of the other equipment that I have here is on Caledonia at the moment. If you notice here, you have on both her legs, and they're just sellotaped on. There are other brands available, right? Sticky back plastic, clear tape. They're two Flytron crease robes. Wonder if I can turn them on without blinding myself. Let me try and see what happens. So that's a green one. And where's the button for that? There, it's there. So that's the green one. That's a red one. Right, so here, let's see. There you go. It's very, very bright. The camera wouldn't be, oh jeez. The camera wouldn't be picking up just how bright it is, but trust me, it's so bright that it's very hard to see the button to turn it back off again. And there is a reason why I'm showing you all this. I'll tell you in a wee minute. I can't see it. I absolutely can't see it. I'm blinded by it now. There we go. Right, that's been turned off. So these are two Flytron crease robes, and they make seeing the drone. If you put those two, if you put two strobes onto the Mini 3 Pro, even with the standard battery, it will take the Mini 3 Pro over 250 grams. So if you're using a plus battery, then it makes no difference. It's going to be over 250 grams anyway. Right, so that's another wee bit of kit. And there is a reason why I'm showing you all of this, okay? So this is the RCN1, right? This is the standard remote that you get with the Mini 2, right? You can also use the Mini 3 Pro with this. This is the RM330, colloquially known as the RC, and this is another one that you can get this or this as standard with the Mini 3 Pro. It has some advantages, it has some disadvantages. We're nearly there. This here is the RC Pro, and this is compatible with the Mini 3 Pro, not compatible with the Mini 2. Although, before I forget, just before I came on, I was looking through my Facebook feed, and I've lost it now, so I can't show you. But there was a guy in one of the drone channels that I'm in. He said that there has just been an update for the Mini 2. Haven't checked it myself. Someone might be able to confirm this. There's been an update for the Mini 2 very recently that now allows the compatibility with the smart controller, not the RC Pro. But it's the smart controller, which is the older version of the RC Pro, and a couple of other wee updates, better stability in the air, I think it is. I think that's what it is. So that apparently is now compatible with the smart controller if anyone has one of the older drones that run that. Right, where was I? Right, that's controllers, right. And the final thing that I have here is filters. These are Mini 3 filters, right? These are actually, these are wide angle and anamorphic lenses at the top there, plus the ND filters for those anamorphic and wide angle lenses. And these two, I like these as well. These are really good in a sunny day. I'll show you them. I'll hold them up and hopefully you can see them. These are half, you can see it there. See how they're half filtered and they're rotatable, right? These are great for oh, I hit the mute again. Wait, I don't know when I hit that mute, right? Oh God, what an idiot. I know, I must have bumped in. Look, see if I just do that. Yeah, I can just accidentally touch it and it mutes it. Right, I don't know how much I told you about these before I muted it. So I'm sorry about this, guys. I'm really sorry. I know. Since the half flyer. All right, okay, well, aye. Well, just to reiterate, these are great if it's like I said, if it's a sunny day, very, very bright sky, and you're filming some land as well. It means that you can put one of those filters on and the sky will be slightly darker, so the ground will be slightly lighter and it will balance things out. Right, okay, that's it. Sorry. Oh, I'm an idiot. Right, let me have a wee drink here. This is purely non-alcoholic drink as well. It's medicine. Medicine to try and get my brain working. Right, so why am I showing you all of this drone gear I have? Because what I thought I'd do tonight is first of all tell you I'm no expert, right? I've only been flying drones for 3 years, right? But I'm no expert. But I have tested almost everything that there possibly is to test with the Mini 2. I can't think of anything I have not tested with this Mini 2 and done comparisons. There are some things I haven't tested with the Mini 3, but that's only because I've tested those things with the Mini 2 and I know the results will be the same. However, I am going to go out and do some tests that I did with the Mini 2 but didn't do with the Mini 3. Even though I know the results will be the same. I'm going to be doing that. So I'm no expert, right? But I have done extensive testings and I know these mini drones pretty well, almost inside out. And I'm very, very familiar with the RC controllers, both of them, the RCN1 and the RC. And I'm starting to get pretty familiar too with the RC Pro. And I'm very familiar with filters and how they work. And I'm also very clued up and very familiar with the Flytron Cree strobes and how they can improve your visual line of sight, how far you can see them, and things like that. So what I thought I'd do tonight is, instead of just talking about a subject that I want to talk about, is I thought, we're halfway through the show, is I'd do a question and answer thing. I'd look through the comments. If you get any questions about anything, it doesn't have to be a question that you don't know the answer to and you want answered. It might be something about me, about my background, about my drones, about my life, anything at all. Fire your questions up and I'll do my best to answer them as honestly as I can. Obviously, without giving away too much personal information. I'm happy to give away some personal information within reason, but not too much. So I thought that's what I'd do tonight. Show you all of the equipment I've got is regarding drones, and then turn it over to you and see if there's any questions. Now, if no one's interested in asking me anything, if no one cares what I've got to say, that's fine. I've got something else I can talk about, right? Which is somewhat interesting if you're a bit of a geek, I suppose. A geek's Vanna. Oh, did I say that? It's something that I don't want to spend too much time on because too many people fall asleep at these kind of things. So anyway, let me just have a look here. Right, okay. Oh, I know. Everyone's telling me I'm muted. Look at that, you know. Oh, dear God. Right, there's Mark straight on it. Muted. Al McNeish straight on it. Toffee, you're off. Gerard McGlinchey, no sound. Dan McCall, sound. Norman Blackburn, muted. Fish Diaries, J Richards, Gaz M, Caroline. There you go. Thanks, and then thanks, Tom, for letting me know we're all right. So, yeah, obviously that means some people are actually paying attention. And thank you for that. Thanks for paying attention. Right, let me scroll back a bit, and while I was doing that, show and tell thing with all my different drone equipment, maybe some people were asking things like that. I don't know. So let's have a wee look and see. Right, okay, let's see, where are we? Ian Thompson, a nice wee compliment from him. Say, great channel, just found your channel. Great channel, Robert, just found your channel. Looking forward to being part of it as it grows. Yeah, I hope it continues to grow, Ian. I find what I do, I going out flying my drones around some of the areas of Scotland, the castles and the lochs. And I find it interesting for me, and I'm glad that so many people find it interesting too. I was actually very surprised to find that so many people, 11,500 subscribers, not huge, but that's a big amount of people interested in, drone flights over lochs in Scotland and things like that. So yeah, I hope there are more people continue to be interested in that. Yeah. Good evening, Caroline. And we won't be doing what the Drone Seekers International are doing, singing that song, so don't worry about it. Right, there you go. Derek has always loved the intro at the beginning, and many other people have too, and that's why I've kept it around for so long. Aye, Mark Laddie, there he is. I haven't flown Laddie very, very much, and in fact, this is Laddie Mark 2, because I had a wee crash with Laddie. If you watch some of the videos, I had a wee crash, a tiny wee slow moving crash, where he got some grass jammed into the motors and burned out one of the motors. Sent it away, and they sent me a brand new Laddie, right? Brand new. And I've only actually had him out one time since then. And that was just to put him up and hover him beside Caledonia and Lassie. I've only got two hands, so I can't hold them all up. To see how they fared in the wind. I just held them up and pointed the camera at them. You maybe remember that one if you've seen it. Just to see how they did in the wind. And that was it. That's the only time I've had Laddie out since. So he's brand new with a flight that just hovered. He hasn't even done anything. So I do want to get back out and about. Because I was watching some of the videos that I made with Laddie. In fact, I wonder, I've got one here that I could show you just the very, very last part of it. It's about 30 seconds. Let me see if I can find it for you. And if I can, oh goodness me. Right, my videos. Oh no, I can't even remember the name of it. Forget that. It's a video where I take him out for the very first time in manual mode, and I do a loop-de-loop for the very first time, and I missed the ground by that. I overlooped and just missed it. And I was watching that video, and I thought to myself, that looks fun. I'm going to go back out with him again. So I do intend to do that. As soon as I feel a wee bit better, hopefully this week, I'll get out and do some flying with Laddie. Right, so Tom, hello from Ottawa. Hello from Scotland. Hello to Ottawa from Scotland. Right. I know I'm getting to hellos that I've already mentioned some of you, but there we are. So Dave says, I have the 2 battery plus. You can really feel the weight difference there. Brilliant. I agree, Dave. The weight, it doesn't feel all that much heavier, to be honest with you, but it does take it over 250 grams. And I always fly with the plus battery now to start off with, and then if I have a little bit of flying to do that I didn't manage to get all of the footage I wanted with the plus battery, I've got my other 3 standard batteries, which is, you still get a good, I don't know, I can't remember how long it was, 30 minutes or something, a fly out of them, but the plus batteries are fantastic. The amount of time you get, you just feel so much better with them. Gerard's asking me, are you still up for doing a proper video from the castle the last time? Yeah, absolutely, Gerard. It's just a little bit further down the road than the Croic multiverse where I had planned to be tonight. And my plan was that if I get in early enough from work, I was going to shoot down to the castle and do a little video, so I'm flying over it in 4K, and then go to Croic multiverse and set up for the live stream and do the live stream. However, when I was testing the equipment, as I've already said, didn't quite work out that way. So I spent most of my evening after work just trying to get something up and running here and testing out, see what I'd done wrong. So yeah, I absolutely will, because it's a beautiful castle, Drumlanrig Castle. I don't know if any of you didn't see Drumlanrig Castle. For those of you who didn't see the live stream that I did there, and near the end of the live stream, I sent Caledonia up to do a little flyover. Here is Drumlanrig Castle. That's the castle right there. Are there any pictures? There you go, that's it. So there are wee pictures here and there. I don't know how to scroll along, to be honest. Oh, no, I don't know. Oh, there, you press that button. Do you? Yeah. So there you go. So that's not much of the castle there, to be honest with you. Right. So that's it. That's Drumlanrig Castle just there. And that's where I was flying. There it is. So that's the you'll recognise that, the long road that I drove along. So my plan is to go there just as soon as I feel a bit better and everything's working, and do a nice scenic 4K video. I might even use the filters and make it look as nice as I can. Right. Yeah, Mark says need to fly acro. Yes, I'll have to start again from scratch, Mark. I was getting okay at it. I was using the simulator and then going out and doing some acro, and I was getting all right at it. Nothing fancy. I was doing okay. But because it's been so long since I've been out, I'm kind of going to have to start from scratch again. So, it'll take me a while to do that. Right, Jay says here, what a fantastic drone, Rob. I really enjoy flying mine. Thanks for your advice. It's a different type of drone for different footage. Yeah, that'll be the FPV. It is. And the motion controller, which I have too, I didn't bring out, is massive fun. Makes you feel like you're Maverick in Top Gun flying it. It's great fun with that. Toffee says some of your vids are entertaining, Robert. Some of them, okay, thanks very much. Love the Lassie talking ones. Yeah, Lassie doesn't talk as much. Well, she probably does. I just don't have her out as much. But I'm going to start bringing it as well. Caledonia actually has a little voice too, but she hasn't said much with her little voice. So, Jay, thanks very much for your super chat there. You know how much it's going to help me to get out and about, especially down to places like Drumlanrig. Although it's only 31 minutes down the road and 31 minutes back, it does still cost fuel to get there. So thanks, I do appreciate that. And your question is, how does the Mini 2 compare to the Mini 3 Pro? How do you find the Mini 3 Pro flying in windy conditions? Jay recently went flying in winds, and although got my footage, was very nervous. Jay, I have quite a few videos there where I do comparisons in the wind between the Mini 3 Pro, the Mini 2, and the FPV, right? You have to look through them, or if you remind me either by messenger or email, I'll find the links for you and send you the links. If you don't remind me, I just won't remember, because that's how my brain is at the moment. If I don't, I've got wee post-it notes, right, everywhere. I've got post-it notes all over my screens, all over my desk, everywhere you look. I've got post-it notes because of the simplest things, like, turn the cooker off, turn the cooker on. Because I can't remember anything. So if you either message me or email me to remind me about this, I'll find the links and send you where I do the comparisons, the wind test comparisons of the three drones, the FPV, the Mini 2 and the Mini 3. And I'll tell you now, a wee spoiler, the Mini 2 did better than the FPV, which was a surprise to me. Its wind resistance was actually better than Mini 2. And I thought, how can that be? Because Laddie's such a heavy, big thing. Surely the wind, he'd better than the wind. And then some scientific people told me, no, it's the profile. It's the profile here. Look at this. The wind will hammer him, just like a big lorry. A motorbike or a sports car, the wind wouldn't even be affected by the wind on the motorway, whereas a lorry, right, or a van, high-sided van, is going to get buffeted about. So that's a wee spoiler for you to let you know what the kind of result of the test was. What I've also found is with the Mini 2, I haven't done as much testing, wind resistance testing with the Mini 3 as I have with the Mini 2, because I've had Lassie much longer. What I found when I was doing any wind resistance tests was that she can stand winds far, far higher than the DJI's specifications say she can. I can't remember off the top of my head what her wind resistance rating is, but I can tell you now in the real world, it's much higher. She's the only problem you have with wind, she won't get blown away, she won't get blown, anything like that. She'll hold her position really, really well. The only possible problem you'll ever have with the wind, if it's really high winds with the Mini 2, is if you fly out with a tailwind. When you fly back, she'll still come back, but she'll come back much, much slower, and the motors will be working much harder, so the battery will go going down fast. So that's when you have to kind of judge it at the speed she's going, at the strength of the wind, at the distance she's at the level of the battery. Is she going to get back? If she doesn't, as long as she's not over water, you're okay. You can use Find My Drone to go and get her. But that's the only problem you have with the wind. She won't get blown away by the wind. And I've taken her out in a storm. And there's a video there as well. I'll link that one to you if you remind me, where I take them out in a storm. And they're absolutely fine. So don't worry about it. If there's strong winds, you can take them out. Just be aware of flying out with a tailwind, because you're flying into a headwind coming back. Okay. Richard Buchan, Skyrunner, says, I use the smart controller for the Mini 2 and the Mavic 2 Pro for over a year now. Really? So when I read that Facebook post, it was only 38 minutes old, and the fella says that the Mini 2 is now updated that you can use a smart controller. But if you're saying you can use a smart controller for over a year now, I don't know. I wish you could use the Mini 2 with the RC Pro. That would be fantastic, because I've got the RC Pro, as I've just shown you. Right, all right. Along the coastline, if you have polarised filters and you look down, you'll be able to see right into the sea, especially if you've got seals or dolphins or anything, or sharks or anything like that flying about, swimming about. The polarised filters are going to allow you to see them fantastic. Yes, well said. Mavericks drone, that was a good one, and I didn't point that one out. I do have polarised filters. I don't know if they're in this little pack. I've got hundreds and hundreds of filters. I'm fortunate that Freewell do send me filters. I think they send them to all drone channels that are like over 1,000 subscribers. I think Freewell send them out filters and ask them to do a video or two. So I don't know if there's a polarised filter here. No, there isn't actually. Or maybe, I don't know. But I've got lots of filters, polarised filters too. And I've got filters for the Mini 2, Mini 3 and for Laddie, all from Freewell. I really like the Freewell ones. Well, of course I do. They send me them. Doesn't cost me anything. Right, Mark says, my firmware for the Mini 2 is up to date, but it's been a long while since they updated. Yeah, I think I didn't read that Facebook post thoroughly, Mark, and it disappeared before I get a chance to really look at it. But I think it's a new update that's just come out, according to what I saw. I may have misread it, but that's what it looked like to me. So have a look, and you can always let me know if there is a new update, particularly if it allows you to do things we couldn't do before. Okay. Moving on. Oh, here's Mark saying the Avata sucks in the wind. I wonder why that is, Mark. I wonder if it's something to do with the shield guards. I don't know. I'm not convinced about the Avata, to be honest with you. There's so many people have had so many problems with it. First of all, it was the battery kept popping out. Any time it had a gentle bump with something, and then we had the whole problem with props exploding. And then there's the whole problem now with sometimes it just falls out of the sky for no reason at all. So, I mean, I had considered at one point getting the Avata because I've got the FPV, I've got the goggles and I've got the controller ready. So I thought, well, I can get it for £450 or something. And I did consider it at one point, but I'm glad I didn't now. I'm not convinced that it's a great drone, to be honest with you. And I might talk a wee bit about the Air 2S, or maybe not. It's 7:45 already. Might talk a little bit about not the Air 2S, sorry, the Air 3 Although I don't have, I'm not really qualified to speak about it because I don't have one, but I've got opinions and thoughts on it. AliExpress. I take it that's if you want to buy one of the plus batteries. I don't. Many people have had many good experiences with AliExpress. Some people have waited 30 to 60 days to get stuff. I don't really know. I've not bought anything from there before. I bought my extended battery from eBay. It was a lady that was selling it, and she only had one, and it was brand new, and I got it. Well, that's J to Paul. Right, okay, that's not a question for me. Right, Drone Audits Scotland. Drone Audits Scotland. Drone Audits Scotland. I think it... No, I'm kind of familiar with you. Mini 2 got blew backwards at wind farm last month when filming a damaged wind turbine. Had to run to get it. Really? It got blew backwards? Well, I've had mine out in a storm and it hasn't blown backwards at all. It doesn't get blown back way. Right. 25 miles per hour maximum over land, 35 to 38. It can fly at 16 metres per second in sports mode, 10 metres per second in normal mode, and 6 metres per second in cinematic mode. You're thinking, oh, Robert, your brain's actually okay. I'm in the middle of making a video about the spec comparisons, and that's one of the things that I wrote down and memorised. So that's how I know it. That's metres per second. I don't know what that converts to in miles per hour. Dave says his wide-angle lens arrived today. Can't wait to try it. Yeah. Dave, is it just the wide-angle lens you have, or is it did you get the anamorphic lens as well? I really, really like the anamorphic lens. I'm not overly keen on the wide-angle lens because if you watch the video that I made, and I know you did, it kind of blurs the edges a little bit, the wide-angle lens, whereas the anamorphic one looks fantastic. I really like anamorphic lenses. I use them in quite a lot with different drones. Right. Caroline says, opinions are like bottoms. Everyone has one. And thank goodness we all do, yes. Yeah, listen, Mark, if you haven't had any problems with your Avata, then fantastic. I don't think it's every single Avata that has a problem with. I just think that there seem to be a lot of people are having problems with theirs, which makes me worried that if I bought one, would I end up, and probably knowing my luck, I'd probably end up with one of the drones that are a bit dodgy and I'd end up having problems with it. But for every one problem that someone posts about or someone complains about, I would imagine there's 90 that are absolutely fine. So I would imagine that the large majority of Avata drones are absolutely fine and work really well and they're good fun. I just worry that I'd end up with one of the duff ones. So that's why I wouldn't be getting one. And also, if I got one, I'd never go out and fly Laddie, and I want to go back out and fly him again. Kamikaze Chaos says, AliExpress sell extra capacity battery hump packs for Mini 2 and Mini 3 Pro, giving you 50 minutes flying. I don't know what a hump pack is. I've got no idea, and I don't really want to know, to be honest with you. It sounds like if you're connecting two batteries together, that's certainly going to take your weight over 250 grams for sure. Dave says, just the wide one, can't afford the anamorphic one. I used to go the anamorphic one instead of the wide, Dave. However, the anamorphic lens, Jay, it gives you a wider field of view, and it also gives you the letterbox effect at the top and bottom. It makes it look very, very cinematic, but you do get a wider view. Not as wide as you do with the wide angle, but wider than you do without a lens, without one, with just a standard lens. If you look, I have a video there where I fly Caledonia on my DJI Mini 3 Pro, and I compare the anamorphic lens with a wide angle lens with no lens, and I show you them individually flying and then side by side, and you'll be able to see the difference there. Once again, if you message me or email me, I'll send you the link. Right. Humpback is like two batteries stuck together. Yeah, I don't fancy that idea. That doesn't make much aerodynamic sense to me. I don't like the idea of that. Drone Scott says, video of drone getting blown backwards on my channel. Just missed damaged blades, but got great footage. Excellent, well done you. Graham says, evening Robert and everyone, sorry I'm late. I'm a daytime sleeper? I don't know what that wee thing means. Have I missed anything? Graham, no, of course you haven't missed anything. All you've missed is me continually muting the mic by accident and everyone shouting at me, you're muted. Because my brain's no functioning great, right? You know, I've had a wee kind of relapse over the past week with the long COVID thing, and my brain's no functioning particularly well. But no, you haven't missed anything, so don't worry about it. I know, Dave, I'm sorry. Dave says, I was promised a loan of an anamorphic lens for someone, but it fell through. That was me. I'm sorry about that, Dave. And for anyone who's wondering why did I offer to loan Dave my anamorphic lens and then not, it's because I went out and I did a test with it and I decided I really like this anamorphic lens and I'm going to use it all the time. So I don't want to send it away to anyone for a couple of weeks because I want to use it. So there you go. Right, so we're up at, what's that, 7 minutes left to go. I don't see many questions about any of my gear or my life or anything. Oh, unless that was one there. No, that was, Jay did that with me, the super chat. So there's one thing I will mention something here. Bomber, but it tastes horrible. It tastes absolutely horrible. I was told to try and drink a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar every day as well, rather than putting it on a salad to just drink it. Tried it and nearly gagged. Can't do that. So there's no way I could do cod liver oil, no chance. Right, so there is one thing I was thinking about mentioning, and I will just slightly mention it here. Let me switch over to my screen, and hopefully I'll be able to continue to talk while the other screen's on. I think I can. Yeah, I can. Right, I'm a member of the Grey Arrows Drone Club. It's the most popular club in the UK for hobbyist drone operators with £5 million of insurance cover. Right, but it's basically a forum, right, where you can post different things. I don't post very often because I do so much that I can't post there. But just before I talk about it, let me flick back over it and say Graham. Well, let me take you down there because you can see your wee thing at the top there. Watch those coins; they'll just drop into that tip jar. Let's see if anything splashes out. Yay! Nothing splashes out. Graham, thanks very much for that super chat. That'll go along with Jay's and help me to get down to Drumlanrig Castle and do some nice 4K filming. So I appreciate that. Right, so back to this. What I was just going to mention was the Grey Arrows Drone Club. So it's a forum where you can post different things. I don't post as often as I should, right? But anyway, so this fella here was talking about Geeks Vanna did a 46-minute video on this very recently, which is the new National Security Act 2023 and the implications for drone flyers. Now, I don't know how many of you watched the Geeks Vanna show when he spoke about this. He went into it in some depth. I did watch it, but like some of the people here, Pathfinder says, yeah, I watched some of his stream and it seems like something aimed at the undesirable part of the community that really need a good kick in for like complete bellends. I think he's talking about frauditors there, right? And some people are saying that, they can't watch a full 46-minute Geeks Vanna live because they just fall asleep, and I understand that. Sean's very, very informative, but it's a hard watch. There you go. Assumed drones. I actually used this video to fall asleep to 4 minutes in before the sheep jumped fences. Yeah, Sean's very informative and he brings great news, but my God, it's a hard watch. So anyway, I've got the link here to this this is the actual legislation. I'm going to link it in the chat now, right? Here it is here. If I can, how do I do that again? It's that Control V. Oh, I'm an idiot. Right, that's the link to this legislation here, right? And this is the National Security Act, the new legislation. But trust me, I mean, I'm going to scroll really fast here. Watch this. If I can scroll. Look at, I mean, this thing goes on. My God, it goes on longer than a Windswept Robert live stream. I mean, it's absolutely huge. It goes on forever and ever and ever. And it's hard to work out what's relevant and what's not relevant. I couldn't read all of it. I tried my best, but there's just too much. And I even tried looking at the bits that might be relative to us drone flyers. And here's what I take away from this. It's not going to affect us at all. You can't fly over Ministry of Defence bases. You can't fly over national security places. We've never really, maybe you have been able to do that in the past. You know, like is it GCQ or GHQ, you know, whatever it is, MI6 building in London and all that. Maybe you could fly over it before, I don't know. And now you can't, right? So, you know, only a numbnuts would ever want to do that anyway, or an auditor frauditor would want to do that anyway. So, as far as I can tell, having looked through it, it's not really going to affect us. And even though there is a part there that says that any building or any car or any place can be made to fall under this if it's deemed a security risk. But that's not quite true. It has to actually go right through the Secretary of State, and it has to be, you know, passed. It can't just happen. No one can just say, I'm going to make that. You can't fly over there because I am now deeming this a security risk. It doesn't work like that. Their places are designated, and anywhere else that isn't designated, that can be designated, has to go through the Secretary of State. He has to make the ruling, make an act, and then pass it. So it's not going to affect us. I didn't watch all of Sean's Geeks Vanis thing, and I don't know if he came to the same conclusion as I did. But that's my conclusion. So the reason I'm mentioning this is to try to alleviate anyone's fears that this is really going to impact the places that we can fly. It's not. It's not. And a lot of people think it was designed for the frauditors to stop them. It's not designed for that either. It's just one of those things. It's just an update to a bit of legislation that needed to be updated because drones are now very, very common. But it's not. It doesn't affect us at all. So don't worry about it. Right. So we're coming up to the last minute. Let me have a wee look through here. Right. Before I say it at all, does a Tuesday suit everyone? How many people have I got in at the moment near the end? I have 46 people watching, and I've got 37 likes. That's not bad. Not everyone has liked it, but only 9 people haven't. So that's not bad. It seems that this Tuesday chat is okay, and as far as I can tell, I didn't have any glitches. I didn't have any internet problems with it. So I think I'll continue with this Tuesday chat. It's easier for me because it gives me the Sunday to be with the family and do things like that. So as long as everyone's happy with that, I'll continue with that. And hopefully next week I'll be feeling a bit better, and maybe my brain will be working a bit better, and I'll get some more. I'll have a bit more energy, I hope. So thanks for the super chats tonight to Graham and Jay who gave me those. Thanks for everyone for tuning in, and I'll see you next Tuesday.